Sky Temple is is map number 1 in game number 1. We have our grand final at the qualifier for the Enter the Storm Europe. NaVi is going up against the Sandwich Monkeys. Sandwich Monkeys were able to take down Fnatic and Virtus.pro, and now they reach the finals. The team around ADRD and BKB have their shot now to take on NaVi as well. NaVi defeated TSaM in the semifinal. And, well, Sky Temple's our first map, and NaVi is reacting with an immediate ban on Zagara. This is like, yup. Get her out of the way immediately. So we've seen a lot of drafts just circle around Tyrande and Kalthas, and that's still true. But the teams are currently putting their mind a bit more to draft strategy. So it's not immediately this, oh my god, we need to ban out Kalthas, or this, oh my god, we need to ban out Tyrande. But they're really just trying to ban out heroes that are still strong, but try to open up an opportunity for themselves to take one of these absolutely top tier heroes then later. So the picks and bans have become very, very interesting. There's such a high pool of heroes right now that is extremely powerful and that players want to play. That, for example, in this case, even an Uther is banned out, already shutting down combos with a Divine Shield. Uther Thrall, Uther Sonya, Uther ETC, and allowing now Tyrande and Kalthas to be played. And both of the teams are going to end up with a few of these heroes. Kalthas has now been taken by NaVi, and we can see TSM with Tyrande, and they can now decide if they want to run that together with a Jaina or with a Muradin. Instead, they pick a Falstad, which is also very strong here. And it still allows you to, of course, first of all, have the mobility on the map. Oh, Bloomby with a sub now as well. Thanks, dude, and great games earlier today. So, well, actually, have I really casted yours? I know that I watched one of them earlier, but I think it was an old match. So, yeah, still great games that you guys are currently putting out there. And I've been part of a few scrims, so that's already fun. But yeah, so for now, we have Falstad taken. And with Falstad, you have, of course, a hero that is very mobile. There's against the problem with the boss. If you take it, Falstad flies in Mighty Gust. NaVi now picks away Muradin so that Tyrande can combo their stun of him. There's still there's still ETC and also Diablo to consider, of course. And NaVi can now also attempt to take some of those away with a ban. And of course, at this point, they can go into another pick and maybe lock down a healer for them already early on. But TSM, the Sandwich Monkeys here, are still in a position where they can combo something off with that Tyrande. Keep that Jaina also in mind. For NaVi, it's really one of these situations where they're currently looking at this and they're saying hey, what do we ban out? And that's exactly what the Sandwich Monkeys were thinking here. They, first of all, pick Falstad, which in their opinion is a very strong hero since you can soak different lanes, you can just fly into the battle, you have the mobility, you have the threat towards the boss with the Mighty Gust, you can always disengage, and you have Tyrande for those stuns and for the extra damage. Also, as a solo healer, she's of course amazing as well. And now NaVi has so many heroes that they want to take away from this composition that no matter what NaVi does, TSM ends up with something that they feel is good. That's why they didn't immediately lock down a Muradin, didn't go straight for an ETC lockdown or anything along those lines, even with the Jaina here, which is oftentimes taken. So it's really just so much that you can branch out towards now that they don't feel the need, and they just pick pieces from really good comps and then bring it together at the end. Charism for NaVi now, and that of course, as Uther is banned out, a very strong pick already. Now TSM, when it comes to the bans, they can really think about what they want. The Sandwich Monkeys, they have a couple of bans that they can go for here. More damage that you can ban out. First of all, they have of course to think about what they themselves want to pick. There's still a Thrall around, there's still that Sonya around. It's oftentimes, even without the Uther, those melee assassins that you're a bit careful about, especially if there's a Charism being run. But now they go for a Tyrael ban, so it could really be that Sandwich Monkeys are going to try and set up... Well, Tyrael first of all is of course nice with the Sanctification, and that's again something that caters towards boss steals. Holy Ground after level 16 is very strong. Sanctification, make sure that you're not affected by the Mighty Gust either. So if you use that on a boss fight, you cannot even push it back with Mighty Gust. So that's another reason why Tyrael's bad. The sniper comps, of course. There's a lot of small things. NaVi, they can ban out a Tyrande here, they can ban out a Jaina here that combos with Tyrande. They can ban out something that initiates the stun, and ETC and Diablo are potentially possible bans for them. So especially if you go into a Diablo, you of course try to run a very aggressive game early on, since he has that great engage into the opponent, and then you can just take it from there. So those are only two options, right? So that kind of shows exactly the problem that they're facing now. They banned Thrall, though, and that's another option. They could have banned a Sonya as well. There's so many heroes right now that work very well with what the Sandwich Monkeys already have, that for them, it's really just one of these things that you can't get rid of all of it. You can't destroy that draft completely. You just have to try and get something that is better than yours. And we see again the combo between Tyrande and Tassadar being run here by the Sandwich Monkeys that they ran before. Tassadar would have been another potential ban. Zagara isn't picked, so it's not really that play against the play against the creep tumors. But with Tacita and Tyrande, keep in mind what the Sandwich Monkeys did the last time they got this. They played a Thrall. Now they play a Sonya. Breeze! What's up? Breeze actually with a sub there. I need to actually... For you, can I actually introduce individual sub sounds for people? Then for Breeze, it would be like, Kelthas! He's in the game, by the way, my friend, so you can actually like get a little bit of the YOLO, yeah? Breeze, my favorite arm wrestler partner. Like, if you have actually not seen that yet, then you should definitely like go to YouTube and search for Khaldor, Breeze, and arm wrestling, and you're gonna see a very fun video. So at this point, again, we had Tacita and Tyrande picked earlier for the Sandwich Monkeys, and back then they played Thrall. Now Thrall is banned, so they picked the next best thing, which is Sonya in this case. NaVi takes Diablo away because they're saying like, yeah, you're not going to get that Diablo because that's just too strong with a Tyrande here. So that's already nice. And at the same time, Diablo, of course, also gives them quite a lot of control. He's played with Apocalypse a little bit more these days. And even the Lightning Breath can give you very good control over one of the temples or even like the boss area. And they play an Anubarak with this too. Okay, so this is getting a little bit crazy now. We have a triple front line for NaVi, and I'm loving this. Especially Anubarak is something that NaVi plays nearly exclusively with Cocoon, which is absolutely amazing. TSM, I mean, they could still go into an ETC and try to combo that Tyrande stun off, but then again, we have a Johanna as well, and if you try to survive against this heavy front line, a Johanna is probably a little bit better than ETC. ETC can be quite nice with that, and he has the speakers, but if you're up against this much of a heavy front line, and you try to negate stuns, maybe that Johanna with the Iron Skin is the better option. So, of course, you can just use her, try to stay alive long enough, use the Condemn, try to just like divert the rest of these frontliners away from your own backline. You have still that shield on Tacita that's going to help you out. But they go for a Leoric next to Sonya. Now that is also not too bad because he has that paralyzing rage that he can use on level 7. And if you have 3 melee warriors against you and Charism of course as well, another melee, then you get that slow in and that's pretty cool. So that gives you a lot of control here. So it's actually a pretty interesting lineup, but I have to admit that I absolutely am in love with what NaVi is currently doing here. Diablo, Anubarak, and Muradin in the front line. That Kelthas is going to have so much time in the back to just like throw these chain bombs out. It's going to be great for him. And the setup for the Sandwich Monkeys, again with the Tacita, with the Tyrande. It's a pretty cool setup here to actually kick our best of 3. Our grand final here at the European Qualifier. So let's jump in and see which team is going to take the lead here on Sky Temple. Welcome everybody to game number 1 at the final of the European Qualifier. We currently are looking at Sky Temple, and it is of course NaVi versus the Sandwich Monkeys. And to the left side of the map, we currently have Alex, the Pro G on Anubarak, Eternal on Diablo, Crosby is playing Kelthas, Garampakete on Charism, and as if 2 tanks were not enough already, we have Zarmony on Muradin for the team. Triple tank combo, and to the right side of the map, the Sandwich Monkeys with ADRD on Tacita. We have Sport Billy on Tyrande, we're seeing Snow on Sonya, Styr on Falstad, and BKB is playing Leoric. So yeah, let's get this on. We currently have on level 1 for Diablo, Soul Feast taken once again. Makes of course a whole lot of sense, especially in that setup that we're seeing right now. With triple warrior, why wouldn't you? And we of course have Regeneration Master as well. The Owl build for Tyrande once more. Okay, that could actually like become very dangerous very fast. But nope, they are rotating away, so no problem in this case. We have once again, as you can already see, Season Marksman taken for Styr. He uses the Carry Pigeon skin. I really, really like it. And it's like, it's the best name ever, because it looks like a pigeon and he is a carry. So there's a Carry Pigeon. Reanimation on Leoric, and we have the Shot of Fury for Sonya. Sonya actually taken over Thrall this time. Thrall was banned out by NaVi. And of course, this is going to be a pretty fun game, especially since we have quite the nice run for Sandwich Monkey in this tournament already, taking down Virtus Pro and also Fnatic earlier. Against Fnatic with a pretty sick comeback as well. They were 3 level behind and were able to make that work. Oh, already a bit of a miss here in the middle. ADRD, and not the easy prey that they were hoping for. But nobody dying just yet. Sky Temple, of course, one of those maps where you really want to make sure that you dominate those objectives and also take down structures as fast as you can. Muradin still went into a build with Reverberation as the level 1 talent. So not going into any kind of like Stormhammer builds, Sledgehammer on 4, trying to just like burst down these structures. Especially if you're playing quick matches, it's like super funny if you're able to stack a lot of those damage points on the hammer and then at the end you do like 2,000-3,000 damage against the structure with a single hit. Can be quite a lot of fun, but in competitive, of course, there are a couple of other rules. And if you're going up against a Falset and a Sonya, you want to make sure that Reverberation is part of your build to just lock their attacks down a little bit more. The temples are active, and we still have 2 heroes down at the bottom of the map to try and get experience for the team. And Uberak going up against Sonya here. Uberak is going to be quite a bit of fun. NaVi plays him a lot. And we have Crosby, Thurnal, and Zarmany currently straight in the middle here. BKB moving up to the front. It is again this double combo that we are seeing for the for Team Sandwich Monkey. They run it with the Tyrande and also with the Tassadar. So shields and heals on both sides, and that helps you to just like get out quite a bit of sustain during these fights, especially since they are of course in the game now with again Leoric, who can also just like try and come back into these fights and afterwards. Nice stun attempt here by Spot Billy. He gets, on the other hand, quite a bit of damage put onto him. And as you could already tell, we have Underking taken as a level 4 talent for Alex, which is basically his standard build. So Underking into Eradicating Spines is usually what he uses here, so that he has a bit of more AoE and clear as well. Pierce, of course, taken for Tyrande after the Empower on level 1, which is going to reduce the cooldowns immensely. Nice dash by Thurnal. He's still very much exposed, and Sonya is attempting to take him down. But that was a pretty nice dodge on that Tyrande stun, so very well done, but in the end, he still dies. We're seeing on level 4 for our Transcendence Karazim now also the Protective Shield taken. And besides that, it is the Hardened Bones on Leoric, whereas, of course, Falset goes straight into the Power Throw to combo it off with Secret Weapon as the level 7 talent. Incredible damage that you can dish out with it, and especially later on if you go into Nexus Frenzy, you get even an additional shot out there if you use that comp, and it is really, really powerful. Of course, on level 4, the Fire Devil, pretty much a standard talent for Leoric to, for Diablo to go for this one. Leoric, as with the Hardened Bones, this is like one of those get out of jail free card talents. They take so much less damage if you go for it. And again, an attempt to go straight down here for that particular camp. Alex is moving in again. It's still taken by the blue team. Good job by NaVi, and they're trying to take down ADRD. Oh, they get the Gravity Lapse against Sportbili. They're still starting to jump in for this one. Nice stun against Alex the Prodigy and Zarmany. Down here, we still have those 2 Siege Giants that are starting to push in. Everybody is rotating away again, but things are looking quite nice in this match so far. A kill on the side of the Sandwich Monkeys, no kill yet for the opponent, level 7 for both teams now, and the Paralyzing Rage. We talked about the talent a bit during the draft already, and it is absolutely an amazing talent to go for if you are up against this many melee heroes. It's one of the reasons why I believe that Leoric was taken here. Of course, there's a couple of things that really work for Leoric in such a scenario, but this is definitely a great talent to have if you're trying to just like slow this front line down a bit. We could see later on even an adjustment on Karazim going into the Soothing Breeze on level 16 potentially to counteract that. But for now we are seeing the Eradicating Spines as already predicted on Nubarak. We're having also battle momentum now. And once more, the full force at the bot lane. They're going straight through the wall, ignoring the temple thus far. And that, of course, is once again going to guarantee even more structure kills thanks to these shots that are now fired by the temple. So pretty sweet setup here. We're seeing at the same time now also Lunar Blaze taken, and in the mid lane a bit of a battle between BKB, Grand Paquetto and Eternal. The experience soak, that's all that is about at this point. But the Sandwich Monkeys, they get the temple, and they, they lose in the mid lane 1 hero, but that isn't really too bad. I have still to give some credit here to Team NaVi. They are still more or less in the same level of experience in their opponent. Steal the temple away now as well, but they already lost their fort at the bot lane, so that one was lost. Alex, on the other hand, together with the camp that they took a little bit earlier, was able to do the same thing up to the top. So now it's a fort for a fort that we're seeing, and still a potential fight down at the bot lane with the escape here, not quite. But yeah, they go for the temple again. We're having Zarmany now in position to try and make sure that they are securing the last few shots. The fort so far has not really suffered a lot of damage, especially since the entire wall at the front was still intact. In the mid lane, Grand Paquette and BKB are doing their thing right now, still soaking experience and making sure that both of the teams hit level 10 at roughly the same time. So there we have the heroic abilities for the two of them. Already Divine Palm and Avatar. We have also the Phoenix again in play, of course. I suppose that Alex is going to go for the Cocoon here. He has two warriors to his side, so he doesn't really need the Locust Swarm, and Alex actually uses the Web Blast, aka Cocoon, nearly exclusively in every single one of his games. So yes, there we have it, going for the talent. No big surprises there. Force Wall taken for TSaM, Shadowstalk, Wrath of the Berserker. We've seen a few Leap games, by the way, so Leap is back in the meta. But in this case, it makes a whole lot of sense to go for the Wrath of the Berserker if you look at the setup that they're running here. And the March of the Black King for the extra sustain on the side of Leoric. We've seen a few more Entombs in the European scene now, but overall, it's still the March of the Black King that the European players prefer. Whereas China and North America are very, very focused on Entomb, especially China really loves the talent. And it's very, very strong if you can isolate a target and take it down, especially at the beginning of the fight, of course. So the Sandwich Monkeys are actually playing a very solid game. So far, it's a kill for a kill overall in the match. We're still seeing the rotation coming from the mid lane, trying to, of course, go to the top and take a few more structures down. So I really like the way that the Sandwich Monkeys are currently going for structure kills here. They're taking down as much as they can, which is going to make temples way more powerful for them, since it's going to attack the inner structure so much faster. But right now, even the fly-in Mighty Gust up to the top, and they're isolating Crosby, and he gets Divine Palmed in the last second. Apocalypse has been used, and that's the turnaround attempt by NaVi, and they get Snow. Wow! We have the Initiate on the side of the Sandwich Monkeys, and they have a really nice Mighty Gust. They isolate Khaldor, but he gets Divine Palmed, and now it's the kill against them, and they are moving in again, as from the bottom we are seeing Diablo charging in once more. He goes for the carry pigeon, is about to take down Falstad, and they surrounded BKB. A triple kill for NaVi after what was supposed to be an isolation kill for the opponent's team. Great, great move here. NaVi with very, very nice matches here at this point. Throughout the tournament already, taking down TSaM in the last match in the semi-final, but this one was extremely well coordinated and done, especially, of course, at Apocalypse once again coming through. Personally, I'm very, very happy that Apocalypse is back in the meta. I really like the talent a lot. Lightning Breath is, of course, a lot of fun as well, and it's cool that we actually see both for him. So, level 13, and that puts us into Relentless for Karazim. We're also having the Thunderclap build just continued by Muradin and Chain Bombs. It is time to go full bomb build here, and we have also next to that Manubarak with the AoE damage, but Crosby this time, there's no saving him. Karazim is all the way in the middle, is trying to get the last few temple shots, so they fire everything down to the bottom. And of course now we have two forts eliminated, level 13 versus level 12, soon to be 13 as well, for Team Sandwich Monkeys, and this is the opportunity to just like fight on even talents against for them. They have level 13, they have the Spell Shield now on Sonya, so against the Chain Bombs, a great talent to have. Overflowing Light, we are seeing also next to Giant Killer now the Crushing Hope, Unyielding Despair, a very popular talent on level 16 that could come in next. Have of course a couple of options of what you could go for. I mean, Imposing Presence against this melee heavy sign-up is not really something that you should just dismiss. It's a very strong talent and could end up being the pick talent here as well. Prescience for TSaM, Dimensional Warp usually coming up as the level 16 talent to combo off with it, but for now it's really NaVi trying to make a couple of plays here with their 13. But as I said, it's even talents for the two teams now, and they're starting to move in. Zarmany gets attacked here, jumps away. Nice gravity lapse against Sonya though, and once again Leoric moving in, trying to go for the Paralyzing Rage. Here comes the March of the Black King, and nice! Crosby again, nearly taken down, but saved by Karazim. Khaldor is alive. Toronda, though, she didn't make it. She dies, and BKB is about to drop now too. Alex, on the other hand, gets the shield in the last second here as they're trying to turn it around against Snow. Let's see if they're willing to die for the kill. They're not doing it just yet. Under King on Alex, of course, makes that always an option, since he has such a huge range that he can attack now. Level 15 versus 14, 6 kills against 2, and NaVi again with a really great fight control that they showcase here. Very well done, and that they kept everybody alive is just crazy. Those Divine Palms, Khaldor, he is having... Well, he's having a very tough match, actually. I mean, they die for him every time they can, and for very good reason. But Karazim is always having his back, so that works out for them quite nicely. Talking damage, Khaldor also taking the max damage now on his team with 32,000 after one team fight for level 13. We're having 19,000 hero damage on Leoric, which makes him the main damage dealer for the team. Falstad is only at 15,000 right now, so he wasn't really able to get too much damage out just yet. But we'll see how that continues in the near future. But pretty solid work overall. So for now, actually, level 16 talents are ready, and in this case, we have the Circle of Life taken. And this is once again one of those situations where you can talk about different talents. I mean, Soothing Mist, for example, is nice if you want to negate the paralyzing rage that we have for Leoric, but then again, you are in a setup where you have 3 frontliners, and of course the Circle of Life really capitalizes off that, and you get so much healing power out of it. So Kalthas decides that he wants to get as much healing out as possible in these fights when he's close to the 3 frontliners and maybe even Karazhan, and he is going to get exactly that. So the amount of healing is going to be pretty significant for him. That, of course, leads us into Rampage on level 13 for Diablo, which is the talent that he took. Rampage as level 16 talent is now taken here. We're having also the Blood for Blood for Anubarak, and we're seeing the Stone Form for Muradin. They are starting to go for the fights again, and there is a Temple up to the top. A nice attempt by Eternal to just like dash in for another engage with Diablo, but Stier was ready on the carry pigeon, using Falstad for another Mighty Gust to disengage here. So they have to take care of all of these camps that are pushing. And they're not too far behind. I mean, in kills it's 6 versus 2. They also lost a lot of their structures already, but if you just look at the amount of experience that they are behind, it's not really too bad. They will have a couple of fights in them before the opponent hits level 20, so this can still get turned around at any point. Ranger now taken for Tyrande, Dimensional Warp as well on 16, and we have Nerves of Steel for Sonya. So a lot of passive talents have now been taken by the Sandwich Monkeys, and that leaves us also now with a renewed swing on level 16, so no unyielding despair. It's all about that paralyzing rage, about that slow over and over again, and they're already using it. The fight is starting. Cocoon has been used in the back, and they're starting to engage in, but we have Sonya under a lot of pressure from Zarmany and Eternal. Once again, the Mighty Gust for the potential disengage, and the Sandwich Monkeys, they're trying to go in again. Here comes a match of the Black King. Doesn't hit too much. Force Wall Crosby is completely isolated from the rest of the team, but we have the Divine Palm still ready. Nice lockdown against Falstad. Apocalypse is finishing him off together with the damage from the rest of the team. It's a 5 versus 4 in favor of Navi, and they are going in again. The coordination in those team fights is insane. They get another double kill, and they're even trying to jump in once again. Alex, he has the Underking, and he is using it. He goes for Tyrande. He doesn't know when IDRD will be back with his next dimensional shift, and of course there's also Prescience to consider. Sportbile escapes though, and now they just start to focus down the first keep in the game. Great play here by Navi so far. Game number 1, of course, in this series, in the best of 3 in the final here at the end of the Storm European Qualifier. And Navi is moving back once again. Cocoon used right away, making sure that Sonya has no chance to follow this up. Ranger Owl is doing a bit of damage, but not enough to drop a target. Grand Paquetto already riding away in style on his money pick. And it looks like Zarmany might actually fall. Yeah, Zarmany is jumping in. Oh, has Stone Form ready. Here comes the stun. That should help. They're trying to go in with Stier. Once again, that's slow thanks to the Mighty Gust, and Zarmany just accepts that he's not going to make it. He's trying to buy some time for the rest of the team to escape. So he's just sacrificing himself for the greater good. And in the meantime, we're having Eternal and Crosby going down to the bot lane to steal a few of these camps away. The temples are activated again though, or will be in another 20 seconds, and that is of course going to be a very important one now as well. Getting those temples could secure another keep kill for either one of these teams. Talking about damage for a second again, 43,000 on the side of Kalthas. Heals, by the way, 56,000 on Karazhan. Compare that to the heals that we're seeing on Tyrande and Tacita, and you already can tell how much work Circle of Life is really doing here. The battle is ongoing once again, and once more we have the kill against Karazhan. Grand Paquette is stunned out for a second, but he is able to escape. Bot lane, on the other hand, that's different matter, because this is where we see a massive push against Team Sandwich Monkeys. And I mean, they already annihilated a few of the waves that would come in and now start to push here too, but still, those 2 Siege Giants are going to do some work. BKB is going to try and take care of that, but that also allows now Navi to get a temple up at the top to take down a few more of these structures. The rotations are happening. They're still down 1 hero, since Kalthas is of course dead for another 20 seconds. So it's currently 8 kills against 4, but they're just trying to rotate around the opponent as much as they can. Sonya actually got swept off the campo here for a second. The walls are currently getting taken down, but 19 versus 18. Still that lead that we have for Navi. It's a slight one, but it's there. And they go in again for a 4 versus 4 battle against the Sandwich Monkeys. They're trying to fight for a few shots, and Kalthas is back. He's on his way already into the middle. Kalthas is on the way. He's starting to move in, and they go straight for a potential kill against BKB. Don't get that done just yet. And up to the top lane, shots are nearly out, so Snow is going to move down with his Sonya, but the temple has been taken over by NaVi. And NaVi is getting the shots in against the wall. Everything else is still there, so they won't be able to drop a keep just yet. Keep at the top lane, on the other hand, is nearly down now. Sonya has been doing a great job here, and talking Sonya, she needs to be careful, trying to move away here in this situation. But once again, the fight's going straight for Leoric, dropping him nearly in HP. He goes in with the March of the Black King, rotated back in, and now they're starting to fight once more. Leoric is about to die. He is actually going to fall, get shielded again, survives for another couple of seconds. At the same time, we have Apocalypse against Sonya. Leoric down, and NaVi is trying to rush in again. Sport Billy is apparently the next target. They're trying to take him down. Here comes Styr. Does he have the Mighty Gust? He doesn't have it ready. Doesn't look like they could get a kill. Maybe they can try and drop TSaM, but he still has the prescience. Oh my god, but he is still close to dying. And Alex goes in again with the Under King. And they're able to drop ADRD. And no, they can't go with the level 20 talent for the next key. They move in already. We have a Divine Palm or the Peaceful Repose already taken. It's in cooldown, has been triggered there. And they're trying to drop Sport Billy, and they get him! Tyrande down, TSaM down. It's a 5 versus 3, and that is going to eliminate that keep here in the mid lane eventually. We already have on 20 now Rewind for Meridian. We're seeing 2 Bolts of the Storm on Diablo, and also at the same time on Khaldor. I actually still believe that's a little bit wrong to give the Lord of Terror a Bolt of the Storm as well. That is sending the wrong signal, Dustin, I'm sorry. But in this case, just like imagine that Lord of Terror jumping in your face in the middle of a fight, going for the aggression there instead of the save. We have also Hardened Shield now taken for Nubarak, and with 20 versus 19 and a 5 versus 3 situation, they're going to try and use Styr to steal that boss away. I don't see that happening, especially not with the Cocoon in play, and now this could be another kill against Falstad. Mighty Gust or no Mighty Gust, 1 stun, 2 stun, and goodbye Falstad. He's down now too. That boss is pushing in. They were desperate. They know that this could be the end, and they will try. They felt forced to fight for it. They felt forced to go for it, since they just know if that boss is now pushing down the bot lane this late into the match, the chances are that the boss is not going to stop at the keep, but just simply going to go straight for the core. 20 versus 20, but Sonya dead, Falstad dead. Well, we have the Nexus Frenzy for Falstad if he's going to be able to make his way back into this game. Spectral Leech for Leoric, and the Force Barrier for TSaM. Hunter Swiftness for Tyrande, and here comes again the attack. Great play so far by NaVi, and they are trying to crown this with another kill against Tyrande. It's currently 14 kills against 4, 80,000 damage against heroes on the side of Khaldor. And still, Leoric with 50,000, the best damage dealer in hero damage for his team. Great play here. GG already called, and we are seeing NaVi with a lead in the best of 3 series against the Sandwich Monkeys here at the European final of the End of the Storm qualifier. Okay, everybody, game number 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen is the map this time, and we have currently the Sandwich Monkeys with the first pick, first ban against the NaVi. Now, the last game, of course, we already saw NaVi with very nice control during these fights, and especially that triple warrior setup for them was pretty scary. I mean, Cocoon, Apocalypse, so many zoning talents that they had there, and just making sure that you can control the fight itself. So that was extremely well done by them. First of all, now in this game, we have again Uther banned out. This is starting to become a bit of a more popular ban again these days, and the reason is simply that we have such a high focus on frontline melee assassins or warriors that a lot of the teams are just simply saying, hey, we don't want to go up against that with a Divine Shield. You can go Uther Kerrigan, Uther Thrall, Uther Sonya, that ETC combo as well. There's a couple of stuff that you can actually pull off with a guy that is just like too strong. Again, the ban against Khaldor, and it's quite easily explained. We talked about it earlier. If you're on Tomb of the Spider Queen, then banning him out makes just so much sense, because there are so many like close quarter fights where you can really just like take an opponent down quite easily. But of course, with that, TSaM Sandwich Monkeys are going to go again into Tyrande. And with them playing Tyrande, of course, now NaVi has to really think about how they are trying to draft this. The TSaM pick here, I already like that vision about the 2 turn-ins. Bots is going to be extremely powerful and popular. They need to try and think if they want to, yes, they want to pick Meridian away, because they want to make sure that Tyrande is not going to get too much damage in with the rotation between lanes. Now, we could see the Sandwich Monkeys with the Jaina pick here, and they could also then go into Diablo or ETC and simply say, hey, listen, boys, we're going to do that anyways. We're going to use that Tyrande, and we use the damage from Jaina to just drop targets as soon as we can and rotate between two lanes, get a bit of a stacking process going as well. They go into a Karazhan now very early. Since Uther is banned out, that's the best hero that you probably have to just like run with another melee assassin, and we could see that Thrall in their midst again. They already tried him to use in the last games, but in the first match he was banned out, and they used then Sonya instead. But now they have an opportunity to go again for Thrall if they want to commit this early to him, and that's actually happened more than once. So we could see that all early Thrall commitment, which would then again not allow them to pick that Jaina now. So there's a couple of other heroes that we of course have to think about as well. I mean, we've been talking about the tanks that you could potentially combo that Tyrande off with, but the drafts are starting to change a bit. That's like, if you really watched over the last 2 weeks, like nearly every day, I mean, we had so much, then you can really see a slight shift in how the draft is currently happening. A few weeks back it was all Kel'Thas Tyrande banned out immediately. Then teams started to shift away from that a little bit. It became more about like ETC and Uther, and now both of those are still powerful, but now we're branching out into a more Thrall heavy meta or melee assassins in general, with Uther oftentimes banned to just deny the Divine Shield to them. And in this case now, of course, a lot of the picks that we're seeing cater even more towards the map, since these turning points are super powerful here. So the Sandwich Monkeys are picking Sylvanas over Zagara here, two of the heroes that are of course extremely powerful in this map, since you can push with them quite heavily, especially of course when you have the Web Weavers. Sylvanas then again with a potential Barb Shot, but not only with that, more so the Unstable Poison on level 7 gives you the option to really just like burst the Web Weavers down even a bit faster too. So that's something that they definitely want to use here. So NaVi, they have a few things that they can really ban out here. They can ban out a Thrall, they can ban out a Sonya, they can just simply get rid of the Jaina, for example. And they also have the option still to ban like one of the frontliners, for example, just saying, hey, play an ETC if you want to. There's no Divine Shield to really keep them safe there, but we don't want you to use that Diablo and engage into us. Depends, of course, also a bit on what NaVi themselves try to play here. They love to play their heavy warrior setups. We've seen them with even the triple warrior combo in the last game, but if you watch the Heroes Battle Arena matches, for example, they also use a lot of warriors themselves there with like double warrior, using that Anubarak, for example, quite a bit. And on this map it's oftentimes Leoric that NaVi plays, and Alex jumps on Leoric and then just like tries to dominate these lanes a bit. So the Sandwich Monkeys ban out another healer, so they have again a double heal, Karazhan and Tyrande. But of course, if you already watched a few of their games, and if you have been paying attention to the European meta in the last few weeks, you know that Karazhan is most likely going to be played with Iron Fists on level 1 and more of a damage build. We'll still get some heals out, but still more like a melee assassin than anything else in this setup. You could, of course, as I said before, still run a melee assassin if you really want to be like super frontliner heavy. You could run a Thrall with this and then use Tyrande with a full damage build, go Seasoned Marksman, Searing Arrows, and then just like try to have these two just add up and protect one hero and still go into Divine Palm. It's way more likely though that we're going to see that build with Karazhan. But there's like options. I don't really think I made that like really clear the way that I wanted to earlier, but you can branch out with these. You have a couple of options of what you can play. NaVi, as expected, that Leoric pick, I was just talking about it a minute ago. We have Zagara now as the counterpart to Sylvanas, as mentioned before. The Monkeys could have gone into Zagara instead, but they want, like NaVi wants to make sure that they don't have an opportunity to pick that Zagara now too, which would just be a bit too much. So in terms of tanks as a front line, we can still see Diablo. You could go into a double frontline setup with this now. Again, depending on how you want to play Tyrande here. But then you could go, for example, into Diablo and Johanna. It's very unlikely, though, and there's already a Vala being dropped now for the Sandwich Monkeys. I would still like to see a Johanna here as the front line. Personally, I've said it before and I say it again, I don't like Diablo too much as a solo tank, even with the support that he has. So they go for it, they run it again, they were successful with it already once. For me, it's a personal preference. I really feel that in the late game, he's too much of a liability, but they were successful with it before. They ran a very tight ship there with the Diablo, and it was on this map where they were successfully running him in a very, very similar composition that they have now. So if Diablo can stay alive, then you're absolutely golden, but of course, if he gets taken apart, then you are in trouble. And I feel that NaVi is a very different opponent than what the Sandwich Monkeys faced earlier. So for now, it's a Leoric Leoric and a Muradin front line, a bit more damage. Falstad, Reyna come to mind. Jaina is also still available. Jaina would combo well with them all, but if you want to go more into auto attack damage, then of course Falstad is your guy. Falstad or Reyna, one of the two. And in this case, they decide in favor of Falstad, so they have a very, very, very strong attack lineup now, and they have good push on the bot lane. They have great vision. They not only have the creep now, but also, of course, Tesla with that Oracle. So that's a very cool setup in this case. The one part that we still have to talk about is that Tesla is the only support now. So that forces him to Kala's Embrace and also into the potential Leeching Plasma. Question then again is, can he keep everybody alive? He should be. I mean, you have on Muradin after 16, you have your Stone Form, Falstad has his escape. We have Leoric, of course, who can potentially go into Austin's Renewal on level 7. There's like Zagara. The reanimation itself is great enough already. Zagara with Reconstitution on level 1. Theoretically, she could go into Rapid Incubation. I don't really see it happening since she's usually going into Endless Creep on this map or into heavy damage with Battle Momentum, but it's still an option if you feel you need it. So there's a lot of ways of how you can make that Hazada solo play work, and it has become even more popular. As is, Navi's in the lead. We're going to jump into game number 2 and find out together which team is going to take it now on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Game number 2, everybody, on Tomb of the Spider Queen. We're in the grand final of the European qualifier for Enter the Storm, and we have Navi versus the Sandwich Monkeys. To the left side of the map with the 1-0 lead in the best of 3 series, we have Alex the Pro G for Navi on Leoric. We have Crosby on Zagara, Gran Paquete on Tacita, Eternal playing Falstad, and Zarmony on Muradin. To the right side of the map, it's Team Sandwich Monkeys with Sport Billy on Tyrande. They again play their Diablo solo approach here with ADRD playing Vala, Snow on Charism for the second support, more as a damage monk most likely, BKB on Diablo, and Styr is playing Sylvanas. And as expected, Iron Fists for Kel'Thas as the Charism. Third try is the charm. For Charism as the level 1 approach here, so he's going to go into that damage build again. Team Liquid started to come up with that after, of course, Iron Fist got buffed and does now instead of 100% extra damage on the third attack at 125%, which is pretty sweet. We're seeing pretty normal talents taken here. We have again Soul Feast taken and No Devil's Due. We're also seeing with Wind over Barb Shot taken for Sylvanas. We have also Frost Arrow later on is level 13 talent most likely since Vala is heading into a multi-shot build at this point. Oh, Leoric actually taken out very early here in the game, so that was a bit, that was quite fast. It's of course like that danger that in the early game that you are taken apart by Diablo plus Tyrande. It's one of the great things about Diablo Tyrande in general, that you have that immediate initiate with Diablo and then a follow-up stun thanks to Tyrande and a bit of damage from Styr and Sylvanas, for example, and you can really do a whole lot of work. In the early game, Diablo is a very, very great tank, and the composition that they are playing here is incredibly powerful and very aggressive. The reason why sometimes this comp is going to backfire is because later on in the match you might have some trouble with Diablo as a solo tank and to really keep him alive. And once he's bursted down, of course he is, thanks to his trade, in a position where he can come away. I'm liking that wraparound, by the way. That is very cool. That is very, very smart. And Crosby is very likely to die now. But yep, in the late game, that's a different story. Great approach there. I'm really liking this. This was a pretty cool move. So yeah, they move in, take down Zagara. He never saw that coming. And he has, of course, pretty decent creep spread here as well. So with him having the creep here and over there, he kind of thought himself safe and had absolutely no idea that they were going the long way around. And again, that stun into stun attempt, but Zarmony is able to jump away, gets an out to the face shortly afterwards, but it's not enough damage to take him down. So pretty good start here, as expected already for the Sandwich Monkeys. It's all about the mid and late game on the other hand. That's really when their comp is going to struggle a bit more. In the early game, this is a dominant composition that they are running, and this is of course something that Navi is absolutely aware of. So they are going to try to just keep the depth in the early game to a minimum and then take it from there. Already level 4 on both sides, and that puts again the Fire Devil into the hands here of Diablo. We're also seeing now Overtake as the next talent. Bit of a fight in the mid lane here. Both of the talents for the Owls. Zarmony jumps away before Diablo gets a chance to get him into that stun lock. And Diablo is already getting punished quite a bit. But Gran Paquete and Alex had to move away now too. We're having on level 4 the Leeching Plasma. And right now also bot lane, of course, extra damage for Zagara here with Field Tear onto death for Leoric. Now this is a build that Alex has actually used already quite a bit on Leoric. Like, he's one of the first Leoric players in Europe. They were one of the first teams that really started to utilize Leoric back then. His dragon, like, there was one game on Dragonshire that was kind of popular where he played Leoric with Lingering Apparition and also with Hardened Bones, and it was just absolutely hilarious to see him play there. It got kind of infamous a little bit, but he's the one who has been playing Leoric ever since, and his build switch on this map in particular with the not Unyielded Despair, but Fealty unto Death is a very popular one. So we have a kill at the bot lane against Vala, who has got taken out. They can actually try and guard those gems, and they do. Snow is attempting to move in, but doesn't get that chance just yet. We have in the mid lane, BKB and Sportbilly, and Styr are still looking for an opportunity to maybe drop a target. But so far, it is 1 kill against 2. So NaVi getting that kill is even taking a slight lead in experience, and they're starting to turn in again. So they have now 22 gems turned in against 18. We're seeing Eternal and Zarmony up to the top. Down to the bottom of the map, Crosby is doing solid work here with the push that he's using. Starting to take down towers, and both of the towers are already out of ammunition, so that's making things a little bit more difficult for the team in red that is currently trying to look for another kill, of course. There's absolutely no way for the Monk to really push this back, and tower after tower falls now down here to the bottom. It's extremely tricky. Of course, Zagara knows fully well that that makes her a priority target for BKB now. That in this case, Crosby already moved away very, very early, making sure that nothing would happen there. So up to the top, still a bit of zoning happening. We have Pierce, of course, taken on Tyranda's level 4, the Arsenal for Vala with the multi-shot build that she's trying to execute here. And Thunderclap Talents for Mirrodin with now the Piercing Bolt on level 7 coming in to complete the build. NaVi turns in for the first time. The Web Weavers are there. Color's Embrace is already being used for Tacita. He's the only support of the team. And that, of course, demands that you preload those shields whenever you can. And Grandpa Kette is going to do that just continuously. Up at the top lane, Alex is now rotating with the rest of them, trying to make sure that he's getting, of course, a few more stacks also on his reanimation, but more so trying to make sure that the Web Weaver is getting a bit of value out of that. Creep has been improved on level 7 for Zagara, so we're seeing the endless creep for her now. Had a couple of other options of what to go for here. Battle Momentum, of course, gives you more damage in the later stage of the game in particular when you have your crude expansion to get those cooldowns going. Leoric over here is still being attacked, but he should be able to get away with the Wraith Walk. He easily moves out of there. Already the first fort eliminated, and that is starting to give NaVi a very solid lead in experience because they're not stopping there. They're going into the mid lane now and trying to do the same thing again. The Way of 100 Fist has been taken for the Monk on level 7. The Searing attacks for Vala, and we're seeing Luna Blaze again. Sportbilly has played Tyrande in every single game. Like, not a single opponent of the Sandwich Monkeys have banned our Tyrande against them or picked her away. Every time they go through with Tyrande, and every time it's the same build on Sportbilly. He really likes to play that hero right now. I mean, it's one of the strongest in the game for sure. So, red team turns in now too. Now it's actually a very smart move, so they are able to secure that turn-in. Like, the nightmare scenario on this map is still if you're running into a double or triple turn-in of your opponent, because that experience lead gives them an early heroic ability or even level 13, and then you end up in a situation where you're always behind and can never turn in. Alex gets bursted down here. Very nice move, actually, from Team of Sandwich Monkeys. Unstable Poison on Sylvanas is going to help them a lot now, but Alex is, of course, soon going to be back. Stun into stun. Mirrodin is staying in the fight. He goes for the double stun. A very good one. Alex is going to be back in a few seconds, and then he can go for the slow with the skeleton swing. They're starting to move in here, but Alex instead is just moving up to the top and make sure that he is just like pushing this away as much as he can. Bot lane pressure here as well. So far, the Web Weavers have not really reached the wall. At the top lane, we're seeing Alex and BKB. Everybody just going up against each other. And in the mid lane here, once again, Crosby just like starting to make their way over down to the bot lane, rotating after the Web Weavers have been defeated. Grandpa Kette with Vision and also with his own Storm is, of course, trying to apply these area of effect spells to take the Web Weavers down. But at the bot lane, ADRD gets taken down, was a bit isolated there, was attempting to push with the Web Weavers, and that didn't really work out for them. So we have a kill against them. Level 10s for both teams now. March of the Black King once again for Alex, and we're seeing more, plus also the Force Wall. And we have Mighty Gust and Avatar on the side of NaVi. And especially that Maw as a setup for the March of the Black King can actually be absolutely devastating. If that works out nicely, then you can do a lot of potential combos there. Especially, of course, since we have now 2 sectioning talents with Force Wall and March, the Maw. So that all works together quite well. Apocalypse has been taken once again. The shift from Lightning Breath to Apocalypse nearly completed here. We have also Wailing Arrow again in play. We're seeing at the same time the 7-sided strike for Karazim. And they're, of course, going to try and burst the target down as fast as they can during these fights. Shadowstalk for Tyrande. And we have them with Strafe on Vala. So pretty decent talents here thus far. Slight lead in experience still for NaVi. I mean, they're not too far ahead, but they're still in a very solid position here. Once again, the move down into the bot lane, trying to attempt to like burst this away. So they take down these mercenaries, but Falstad has to fly out too, since Snow is gonna try and jump him here. Snow dashes in, Eternal is down, Snow goes in for the kill, well played. So he gets that opportunity. Blue Web Weavers are descending again. Stier was currently trying to get the Web Weavers for his own team, but as it happens, the bot lane turn was a bit too fast. Crosby and also Gran Paquete are starting to move up to the top again. Nice damage on Gran Paquete here with the Storm, of course, but the fort is gonna fall either way. Well played here by the Sandwich Monkeys, but now they have to face the music, aka the Web Weavers, and it's again a 5 versus 5. The teams are not gonna reach level 13 anytime soon yet, but we have a potential move against AD Ardion and Zvala. Not gonna happen. Able to get away, at least for now, but of course now the push is going to start and go straight for that particular fort. At the bot lane, Snow is attempting to just burst down the Web Weaver as fast as he can. That allows Leoric to move to the top lane and push with this one. And here in the middle, yeah, Leoric actually moving back into the mid lane. They really want to go for it now. And it looks like they can get the kill against this fort. Strafe being used for the zoning. Nice Stormbolt. Zarmany has to be careful. Oh, but Stier already using the stun. It doesn't matter though. Muradin is already dead. Falstad using the Mighty Gust a bit too late. And now they're trying to just like go in for an additional target. They go for Zagara. They don't quite get her. There's the stun of Duranda, but unfortunately Diablo was not able to get the stun from him. Stier with a move forward thanks to the Haunting Wave, attempting to do a bit more damage, but they are not able to make that work. So for now it's level 12 versus level 12. Down at the bot lane, we're still seeing that push draining ammunition from the two towers. And the top lane has also suffered a lot of damage here. Both of the forts are still alive, by the way. Both of the forts not down. Yes, there's of course another Hydra trying to just like take those last few hit points away, but that didn't really help. Talking about damage overall, I mean 16,000 damage currently on Zagara. They're already not really with a whole lot of hero damage, but he is leading the charts when it comes to the pushing power and the siege damage here. Challenge attempts at the bot lane. Zarmany and the rest of his team are going to try and prevent that. We have Vala with 24,000 damage, the biggest damage dealer for the red team now, and here come the level 13s. So with that we're having a Mutalistic again. We also see the Crushing Hold taken on level 13 now for Diablo. Overflowing Light, Frost Shot for Vala. We see also Relentless for, again, Karazim. I mean, of course, damage build, you want to go into Relentless. Very rarely are you going to see a Karazim going, for example, into a Spell Shield here. And for Diablo, it's another Fire Talent. Probably Rampage then on level 16, but for now it's the Firestorm. And we're seeing again the Evasive Fire for Silkies. There's, of course, Falstad went straight into Giant. Pretty normal talents here on 13, not really any big surprises. I mean, on level 16 you can adjust a bit to your opponent if you really want to. Level 13, there's a few things that we could have seen, but not in this particular setup. Nice amount of gems, by the way, and this is of course why currently NaVi is attempting to force a fight. But Tacita, with the force while working against his team, was of course trying to isolate a hero, but that didn't really work out the way that they intended to. So now they have to move around themselves. I mean, 60 gems that they themselves need for another Web Weaver wave. Only 55 for Team Sandwich Monkeys. And, well, the Sandwich Monkeys, in this case now, they have definitely the gem count that they need on two heroes. I mean, BKB alone is 41, ADR at 24, 16 and 17 on Stier and Snow. And here comes Vala, very much alone. And, yeah, they don't really go in for the kill just yet. It's really kind of fun to see how the teams are both just aiming for those turn-ins. It's really just like trying to protect them, force a fight, get maybe a good position there. Alex already turned in and he had a lot of gems. It's 42 that they have already secured. So now if they turn in the rest of the team, they won't quite get the Web Weaver just yet, but it will be very close. ADRD again getting stunned here. Stier moving up to the top. Both of the teams are like roaming around. Muradin jumps away and ADRD completes the turn. And now we have BKB doing the exact same thing and he gets it. Nice. Very well done. Web Weaver wave now for the Sandwich Monkeys. Great play by them here. And they jump in again, but in this case, oh, nice. The Apocalypse here now too. It doesn't work though. They used Apocalypse in quite a few stuns, but everybody survived. Crosby still alive, Gran Paquete too. The idea was, of course, great. Kill the hero just as the Web Weavers are being released and put yourself in an even more advantageous situation. But right now, it didn't work, and now the heroic ability of BKB is down. Not only that, Wailing Arrow was committed too. Strafe is off cooldown as well. A lot of the cooldowns, all of the cooldowns are ready for NaVi though, and maybe they can use that for a turnaround attempt here. They have to, of course, deal with the Web Weavers, but the pushing power of Sylvanas is once again evident. She's moving in, taking down every single structure, disabling them as we speak, and that's the first keep that falls. Experience lead here again for the Sandwich Monkeys. They're really making this comp work. That Diablo solo comp so far is working out for them, but NaVi is of course far from being done yet. They are starting to move in and try and get that kill here. Already the March of the Black King being used, pushing everybody away. Nice Mighty Gust and the kill against Diablo, and now it's of course hunting season. Stür is trying to dash away. He is going to escape for now. The question is he going to be able to move away completely? Two of the heroes are very low over here. We're seeing Snow now attacked and could also fall. Snow on the move, Zagara on the carpet already, but Snow is getting away. The thing is that Vala, on the other hand, she did not survive. So Vala actually down, 2 heroes killed, 16 talents are now ready on the other hand for the Sandwich Monkeys. That means, for both teams by the way, that means that we have Ranger talent now taken for Tyrande 2. We're seeing Imposing Presence on Diablo, a good talent if you want to negate some damage, so no Rampage taken here. That would have been the more aggressive version of what he can do. It would have given him a bit more mobility of course during the fights, but if you are a bit afraid that you are going to be bursted down, then going into Imposing Presence makes a whole lot of sense. Talking about like trying to go for more passive talent, Stoneform for Muradin is really going to help him out, and we have also an Imposing Presence now taken for Leoric. So the 2 tanks that we are seeing for NaVi are really worried about like staying alive during these fights. If they drop, then the fight is lost. So they are making sure that with everything that their opponent is throwing against them, they are also going for very defensive talents here, not for too much aggression. Aggression is what we're seeing from Zagara, of course. Root expansion taken, hammer time for Falstad. This is where we are really going to see quite a bit of potential damage. And the blue Web Weavers are going to return. We will see them pushing the lanes in, and this is at a time when they already have a lead in experience and have a big camp in the middle. So they're going to try and go straight for a kill against, well, maybe even a fort if they get a shot at it, but at least a fort up at the top. I don't even think that they're going to bother running with it, since they already know that the Web Weaver is going to take care of it as is. So now, mid lane being attacked, slight lead here still for Team NaVi. Sandwich Monkeys in a bit of a pickle now. They have to maybe isolate a target. I guess if Diablo can move in, they can just like slam somebody over the wall, that would work. But Zarmany could always jump back. Here's already the force wall, and again, stuns being used, BKB at the front, waiting for an opportunity. Falstad moves back, BKB! Oh, he dies, Apocalypse hits, but not well enough. Great Maw here, really nice Maw to make sure that first of all Diablo couldn't get away, and also isolate the rest of the team. So they get a great kill in here against Diablo. He's going to be down for 30 more seconds. The fort at the top lane has been eliminated. They got also the wall in the middle. They have to retreat now, since they already lost a lot of hit points, but they actually still try to take down the top structures. And at this point, they are an entire level ahead. So they're really starting to capitalize on that lead that they have. A bit of a push at the bot lane has been negated there by 2 heroes that rotate against the Web Weaver. But for now, yep, good force wall, recovering the retreat, or so I thought. And then Vala went ham. Vala might have gone a bit too ham there, but ADRD escapes. Stür is going in again. Oh, Falstad, they kill Zagara, and Falstad is about to die, but not before he takes down Tyrande. Well played. Now he's being jumped again though, and this is the end of him. Alex is also about to be dropped. Nice turnaround here. I'm loving this game here. The Sandwich Monkeys, I mean, look at these bad boys. 3 heroes that they've eliminated after it looked like extremely bad for them. Now we have Zarmany moving in again with another Stormbolt. Snow dashes over the force wall. Great play here. Grand Paquette and Zarmany doing a very nice amount of work, so that was actually extremely well done. And it looks like the next objective on the agenda is the boss up at the top. No throw Pittorinos just yet, but Grand Paquette and Zarmany are ready. Double stun is being used. Ooh, that's a lot of good damage. Wow, ADRD gets healed just barely in the last second. They're using the blood for blood, but ADRD also now with a strafe, and that could turn things around again. Diablo is taken apart at 3 versus 4, and it ends up in favor of NaVi. Yep, 1 hero down. Boss not stolen though, still there, and it looks like Alex is actually thinking about getting in now with Diablo down for another 40 seconds, and then with 5 heroes in the game, and also of course Force Wall, Vision with the Oracle and Zagara Maw. They're just saying like, yeah guys, you are welcome to jump in and try to take us down here. We're gonna zone you out and take you apart like all day long. Diablo down for another 28 seconds, and NaVi is going for it. Alex is taking a lot of damage here, by the way, and a lot of damage, but they take the boss, and now they might be able to if we even win a fight. Zagara has them already, and there it is, doesn't hit shit though. So they move away again, and Alex, Zarmany, Grandpa Cat, and Crosby, they should have a couple of gems, but they're far away from getting another turn in. So instead they're just pushing lanes. Bot lane has been pushed in the meantime as well. That's where we're seeing another keep already being attacked. The boss up at the top is of course starting to do some work. Zagara currently at 37,000 damage against Hero, best damage dealer on the side of NaVi. When we're looking at Bala, she's at 58,000. Sylvanas herself, by the way, at 51,000. So both of them pretty impressive here, especially when you look at that siege damage that we see for Sylvanas. 170,000. That is not too shabby. Not shabby at all. The heals, by the way, on the side of TSaM, 51,000. Those preloaded shields are definitely doing some solid work. And now at the same time we're having, of course, once again level 20 about to drop. And with that 20 that we have now, it's an absolute spectacular position for them to dominate the map for another level. Spectral Leech, Bolt of the Storm, one hardened shield, epic mount actually for 4 stats, so he's gonna go for the super flying power. Trying to drop Stier here, but Hammer Time does not hit, and that's of course a bit of an issue. If Hammer Time hits, then you can really put so much damage on a single target that is absolutely out of this world. So those fly-ins are going to make Forset very, very mobile on the map, and theoretically could even like help them to like drop a target, like fly in, take a keep down at some point if it's already low. Bot lane is being pushed by the camp that has been taken a few seconds ago. Alex is even trying to push with that, and they're already attempting to go for a bit of a trap, but with those ults flying around us the entire time, of course, well, the Sandwich Monkeys know what's happening. So they know exactly what's going on. This is just an attempt of NaVi to drop maybe a keeper in particular, take a few more gems, try to turn in again, and capitalize on that level 20 talent that they have right now. Already zoned out by ADRD, so he uses Strafe early to make sure that they get those Siege Giants before they do some damage. And here comes the fly in. Oh, and the isolate TSaM. That might not be enough though. Well, actually, sorry, my bad. The isolate, of course, Sylvanas. She's down, and Sport Billy is dead as well. NaVi again with the plays. And they go for the keep now. Level 20 in just a few seconds for the Sandwich Monkeys as well. But this looks like another win for NaVi. This would be the 2-0. They fly in once more. ADRD gets stunned. It's Hammer Time once again. He's trying to get away, but it's too late. Apocalypse is dodged. And now Crosby jumps out. But the dash is taking him down eventually. Snow with a good kill against Zagara, but it's the last thing that he does when he is attacked himself. This is, of course, going to be game. BKB is the only one that survived here. Already used his Apocalypse. Didn't really hit anybody. Was trying to like zone, but in this case it is the core that is being dropped once again. Core is going to drop here. Very well played. BKB in this case, the only survivor and nobody there to really help out. GG well played as NaVi wins the series. The final here at the Enter the Storm qualifier for Europe, and is able to take this with a 2-0. Taking down the Sandwich Monkeys. Job well done, and congratulations to NaVi for winning the tournament. Okay, everybody, that's it for the day. We had some really fun games here, and I hope that you enjoyed them and also the commentary. Of course, we're going to have more Heroes of the Storm action on the channel in the near future. So if you enjoyed the esports scene Heroes of the Storm, make sure that you hit that subscribe button on Khaldor TV, and also like the video if you haven't done that yet already. There's going to be more European games. We're going to have more North American matches as well. And of course, if you're interested in the Chinese Heroes of the Storm esports scene, I'm going to have more games on the channel as well in the near future as those leagues start again. At the same time, though, if you have friends that are also interested in esports and in Heroes of the Storm, make sure that you forward the channel to them and share it with them. It was a pleasure casting for you today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed, as I already mentioned, and I hope to see you next time for more Heroes of the Storm action here on Khaldor TV. See you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.